Namaste. India is a beautiful country and is different from the rest of the world. The most important factor that makes it different from the rest of the world is definitely the ownership of Vedas. We are the descendants of rishis, the scholars par excellence, who gave to the entire world Vedas, which are eternal and are the ultimate source of knowledge. And definitely, the scientific knowledge it contains makes India different from the rest of the world. First of all, I will give you the meaning of Veda. The word Veda comes from the root sound Vid, which means to know or to understand. It's a verb, and you should know a verb is something that indicates activity, and Vid is a word that refers to the activity of knowing. This is the root sound from which words like Vidya, which means learning, Vidyalaya, a place of learning, Vidwan, a learned man, and Vidushi, a learned woman, comes from. So the literal meaning of word Veda is knowledge. But knowledge of what? Knowledge of everything in existence, and that is why Vedas are considered as ultimate source of knowledge. I will come to it later how it contains knowledge of everything that exists. But first of all, let me ask you, how many of you have seen the Vedas? Every Indian, whether in metro or in the remotest village, knows the word Veda, but very few of us have seen it, as it is not very easily found in our surroundings. Vedas are 4 in number. The first one is the Rig Veda Samhita. I have told you the meaning of Ved, but what is Rig? Rig, it means a hymn of praise. Praise of what? Praise that comes out of a human being in the state of ecstasy, in wonder, in knowing, in an interaction with a lot of mysteries. And Samhita is anthology, which means collection of poems or musical compositions. These books are great for numerous reasons, and how important they are for Indian history can be understood from the fact that whenever you want to study Indian history, it opens with Vedic age. It's a matter of wonder that how in those days human beings started thinking in such an organized manner. They were just animals. They started walking, they started agriculture, and suddenly they became so intelligent that they discovered the mysteries, the wonders of not only the physical world we are living in, but also other worlds, which was definitely possible through tremendous meditation. And they reached to the level of articulation where they could communicate, not only just communicate with each other, but communicate in such a poetic manner, and in the poetic manner of highest standard, par excellence. These all books were written, or I should say composed, as the art of writing came much later in a language that was so developed, so rich, so scientific. I don't think I need to tell you in these days how scientific Sanskrit language is. And this language reached its highest form at the time when these Vedas were composed. Each poem is written in a metric style and is singable. That means in these Vedas, when these Vedas were composed, Sanskrit language became so scientific that varieties of metrical forms were there in existence. You know, what is a meter? Right? A meter refers to the composition of poetry in which there are measurements of each line, which may depend on the number of syllables, akshar or matra in a verse, or which may be defined from the stress it puts at various places. Sometimes it goes high and comes down, and sometimes it starts slowly and goes up. right? So there were various meters, and I've been talking about the highest level of excellence in which poetry can be written is seen in the Vedas. We can discuss what is the level of poetry in the Vedas, but let me ask you, can anyone of you recall a verse from any of these Vedas? I will recite for you one which is most common and every Indian must have recited or heard or seen it somewhere, and that is the very famous, the sacred Gayatri Mantra. Now, Gayatri mantra means a verse, means a mantra. Gayatri Mantra is a verse, and Gayatri Mantra means a verse written on the Gayatri Chand, as I was talking about the meter, right? So Gayatri Mantra is called Gayatri Mantra because it is written on the Gayatri Chand, and this Chand is known as meter. And there were various meters which were prevalent when the Vedas were composed, and Gayatri is just one of them, right? So, and each meter had a particular structure, that how many syllables will be there, how many verses will be there, what will be the flow of those verses, where the stress will be given, and that is how so many meters were used. And Gayatri Mantra, there is not only one Gayatri Mantra, now you can understand, in the Vedas. There are various Gayatri Mantras associated with individual gods and goddesses, because Gayatri Mantra is a mantra that has been written on the Gayatri Chanda, Gayatri meter. So I was talking about the most famous verse that you must have heard, and you all must have heard about the Gayatri Mantra, and that is Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. What is the meaning of Gayatri? Here Gaya means something that is melodious, and Tri means three. So you will see 3 lines in each Gayatri Mantra, right? 3 steps or 3 rhythms in it. And I was talking about the ultimate knowledge that is there in all the Vedas. So what kind of knowledge they were talking about? They are talking about not only this physical world we are living in, they are talking about the world in which this physical world lives, and then about the world in which that another physical world lives. We know of the earth, and then we know of the solar system, and then we know of the galaxy, and then we know of that there are many galaxies. But you'll be surprised to understand that this was all known to those people who have given us this gift of Vedas. So in this famous verse, they are talking about only 3 words: the physical world, the antariksh, the space in which this physical world is there, and the word above it. And they knew about another many words, like the word above that and above that and above that, and they knew like some 7 such kind of words. And the most highest one was Satyam. So in this verse, they're talking about 3 words. So it starts with Om. Om is Parabrahma. I'll discuss the meaning of Om later, because Om, you can see, is a word. It is comprised of 3 words: O, E, Ma. So just try to pronounce all 3 words and see from where it comes. O, E, Ma. So it starts from within, from the navel, and comes up to the mouth. So from entire body, from entire existence, you are calling the Parabrahma. Then it is Bhu. Om Bhur. Now Bhur, what is this Bhur? It is Bhu, Bhumi, which we are living on, the physical world. Om Bhur Bhuvaha. Next is Bhuvaha. So what is this Bhuva? This Bhuva is the Antariksh, the space where this physical world exists. And then comes Swaha. Swaha is the Swarglobe, the heaven, which is above the Antariksh, above the space. So Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha. They are talking about the 3 words here: the physical world, the Antariksh, and Swarglok. Now, Tat Savitur Varenyam. Tat is that. that supreme soul. Supreme, right? And Savitur. Savitur means of the sun god. Varenyam. Varenyam means one who is fit to be worshipped, is the most blessed one, in whom lies all the boons. Var is very important in Sanskrit. You must have heard of Vardhan, right? It's a boon. So Varenyam is one who is fit to be worshipped, is the most blessed one. Then Bhargo. Bhargo is light, light that removes darkness, the luster. Devasya, of God. Dhimahi means we are meditating. Dhiyo. Dhi is buddhi, the intellect. Dhiyo. Yo is which. Naha. Dhiyo naha. Naha is our. Prachodayat. Prachodayat means may be driven or directed or guided towards what? Towards the Parabrahma, who is the Supreme God. Now, when we were talking about the meter of the Gayatri Mantra, the Chand, this Gayatri Mantra, the Gayatri Chand always has 24 letters, and you can see this Gayatri Mantra also has 24 letters as Tat, Sa, Ri, Tu, Va, Re, Ni, Yam. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Na Prachodayat. Right. Now, if you want to put it that there should be 8 words in each line, you can put it like that. Gayatri Chand is considered the most sacred of all meters in Sanskrit grammar and is called the mother of all chandas. 1/4 of the Rig Veda is written in Gayatri Chand. So when I was talking that the Vedas are the ultimate source of knowledge, we have just discussed one verse of Veda which is talking about 3 worlds, which is talking about some such energy which is so powerful, which illuminates the entire world. So if you read all the thousands of verses in the Vedas, you'll come to know what kind of wisdom and knowledge is there in the Vedas and why it is known as the ultimate source of knowledge. Now, what are all the Vedas and what is there in all the Vedas and what is Vedic literature? I'll discuss with you in the next video. Thank you.
If you have liked this video, please like, share and subscribe.